Hi everyone, welcome. It's great having you here. It's Memorial Day. I hope you had a safe one. I didn't do very much myself. I don't have family here or friends here that were part of the military in this area. But I thought about some different things like my dad, and I called a relative out of state, and but that was really pretty much it. I'm not getting out a whole lot right now because, well, I'm still playing it safe for a bit longer anyway. All right, so this was a special request soap from a good friend here on YouTube who has their own channel and asked me to make my charcoal soap, which I haven't made in a little while anyway, so hey, it was time to do that. So I've got my oils all ready to go here. Matter of fact, I do want to give them a quick little stir. They've been sitting for a bit. Let me check the temperature. Okay, we're at room temperature with both our lye water and our oils. Now this is just water because this particular individual doesn't use any animal products. So this is all vegetable oils. We have coconut, of course. Here we do have our olive oil. We have avocado oil, which is why it's so dark today. Shea butter and cocoa butter and a bit of castor oil just to help those bubbles to be a little more stable in our soap. All right. So those are all ready, and this is a simple soap, not much, very little to it actually. I am pouring this into one of my PVC molds here, but I did want to take some time today and just chat with you a little bit just about some things going on in the world and get your ideas too. Okay, before I put the lye water in, I want to give you my little tip on using activated charcoal. This is my own charcoal from my own bamboo. I've done a video on that in the past. I just make my own here. It's so much easier. And then grind it up very fine. And luckily I was able to triple sieve. And it has absolutely no texture at all, so it's very smooth. But do you see those little poofs? I don't know if you can see that from there. So rather than spend a lot of time with that, what I like to do is hold the blender up near the surface, get the air bubbles out, hold it up near the surface, almost where just the tippy top is there, and turn it on. And that way you don't end up with much of a mess. If you push it down in the bottom and turn it on, it kind of creates this weird vortex that can cause little clouds to pop up. So for me that works. It may work differently depending on the type of blender that you're using, the shape of the container you're using, but it works for me. So this is just our oils here, and I just wanted to get that in. Now the essential oils here is a blend, yes, that I almost spilled. This is a very simple blend of a bit of tea tree, a little lavender, and a tad bit, ever so little, of peppermint. And I just find that this is a very refreshing blend. And considering most people use this on their face anyway, it's a very healing blend. It can help with things like acne and other skin eruptions, things like that. I think it's just a terrific soap for just that purpose. So now, yep, I'm going to add the fragrances in to the actual oils before I actually add the lye water. Because I'm just using water here, I'm going to get this to a little bit of a thicker trace before I pour it in, I think. we'll play it by ear here. I'm going to add in my light. This is only going to be one color. I'm not doing any design. This is very, very simple. Sometimes. And that's sort of what I want to talk to you about. Okay, I'm going to tell you all the truth about something that happened. I didn't tell you everything today. So I did need to get out. I needed another headset. Because of the way my job has gone, I needed a secondary headset to use on another computer. I have actually 3 computers that I use for work. Anyway, I needed another headset. That way I'm not having to unplug from one and move it to the other. It was just made more sense to me. So I had to go to the Walmart, and that's in another town for me. I have to drive a bit to get there, and I do wear a mask. Now, why do I wear a mask? Not to protect myself, but to protect others, because I haven't been tested. I don't know. I could be one of those carriers that doesn't get sick, that's non-symptomatic. So I do wear a mask. And as I put it on as I was going into the Walmart, and somebody made a comment to me and just said, that's not going to do you any good. and that was the tone that they used. And I said, yeah, you're right about that. I said, this is to help others in case I'm carrying the virus. And then he said, well, if you're carrying it, you shouldn't be in here. And I said, no, I don't believe I am, but I haven't been tested and I don't know that. And this was a conversation walking. Imagine this, you're going into the store and someone's accosting you this way. And I did feel accosted, but I was trying to remain calm and reasonable. I didn't want to carry this on to another level. And I'm not a political animal in that regard. It's not for any other reason. The only reason I'm wearing the mask is, like I said, in case I've got it. They state that if you wear a mask, there's less chance that you'll spread droplets that could possibly infect someone else. That's the only reason why I'm wearing it. Now, if they said that masks work to help prevent you from getting it, I'd wear it for that reason too, right? I mean, this thing isn't over yet. Has it slowed down in some areas? Yes, it has. But I can't risk it. I don't want to get it, but I also, if I'm non-symptomatic and I have it, I don't want to pass it on to someone else. And I guess what I wanted to say is be nice to other folks. Whatever your belief is in this regard, if you think wearing gloves and masks and shields and hand sanitizer and keeping social distance, if you think that's wrong, you can believe that. But don't take it out on others. Like when I was standing in line, they have these blocks to keep people 6 feet apart. People were getting up closer to me, like 2 feet away and closer. And I just turned around and I asked someone, hi, could you back up to that square there? And she didn't say anything. She just gave the, like that, and then backed up. And I guess maybe I'm being overly cautious, but this is what we're being told by the medical folks out there. So it just seems like common sense to do that. And I'm sorry, I know I could talk to you all about this. I don't know what your thoughts are on these things. We haven't really talked about it, but I have to be safe. I'm not a young man, and I'm about 50 pounds overweight. And I have had health issues in the past. And so why would I put myself at unnecessary risk or put anyone else at unnecessary risk? That I don't understand. Okay, I got my piece out, so I said that. Now I'm going to get my live water mixed in here. So I'm going to turn on the machine for a moment, so it might get a little noisy. Oops, I made a splash there. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to get a whisk here. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm not going to need that because I'm just going to go ahead and pour it. Now, you're not going to get to see me pour it because this thing is so long. I have to move the camera and it's kind of a hassle. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to leave you out of that part, but I'm going to do the pour and then we'll come back and cut it, okay? Alright, we're ready to do some cutting here. Now, there's nothing to see, so why am I cutting this? Because I want to talk to you a bit. I saw something on the news today that upset me. And this is something I'm tired of being upset about. And I'm sure you are too. And that is, doesn't that look wonderful? Another African American man was killed today for no reason. They first stated, I think the police tried to say that he was passing bad checks. Oh, there's a reason to kill someone, even if it's true, right? Why would you? It's this putting their knees on the, and I'm pro-police. I believe in police forces. I support my local sheriff's office. I believe in law enforcement. I support my local law enforcement. I think that they're an important part of our lives. But some police, it seems, don't understand that every life is of value. And I don't see how that's ever going to change without some radical change. This happens too often. And you have to understand, I was a child during the Watts riots, but I understood. I understand. My mother understood. She lost people she cared about during those times. And it tears me up inside. Because, yeah, I'm just an old cracker, right? But I guess I was raised to believe that life is delicate. Life has value. Life is a right in this country. Are there criminals in this world? Yes. And you know what? They come in every race, every age, every sexual preference, every religion, every country. There are criminals and there are people who break the law. And even if you follow the most strict of Bible verses, an eye for an eye, then it wouldn't make much sense. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to take a life for theft, even if that's true. And I'm not saying in this case that it's even true. I don't know all the details yet. This just came out, but I saw the video of the man dying. This was just on world news, just this poor guy with a knee on his neck saying, "I can't breathe." I don't know, it scares me because we're all only, I've got to take these gloves off. We're only as safe as our fellow citizen. If we don't do something about this in our culture, we're going to all be next, no matter what or who we are. Because once you devalue any part of the human society, you're devaluing all of human society. Okay, listen, I'm not a preacher. I'm not on here to change anyone's mind, to be political. I'm just so upset. And I'm sure you are too. How could anybody see another person or hear of another person die? Someone's father, someone's sibling, someone's spouse, who goes to the store, makes a purchase, and that's the last time you see them again. I'd understand if it were an armed robber, and they had a weapon, and this wasn't the case. And it rarely is the case. I saw in a movie once, I need to tighten my wire's getting loose here. I think I'm turning it the wrong way. I was. I saw in a movie once where they had this really cool gun that shot out a net with sticky stuff on it, and it basically wrapped the person up in a tight net and just kept them, if they might be violent, it kept them from being violent. It kept them just still until they could, go to court or whatever. I'm not saying this was a good example, this film, whichever, I don't even remember the name of it anymore. I'm not saying it was a good example of law enforcement, but at least it kept the person subdued without killing them. I'm thinking, even in science fiction, and don't think that science fiction is silly, because a lot of science fiction has actually come to pass. And I know this probably isn't the appropriate place to have this discussion on a YouTube video about soap. You came here for a soap video, not to hear me go on and on about things like this. And I understand that, and I'm sorry. But I think it's important that we all speak up. Okay, I'm going to stop preaching and I'll get through these cuttings. So everyone, I apologize for getting preachy today, but I'm not going to say I'm happy today. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Hope your day was better, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.